notice I'm not super glitchy today? How about that? Look at the
You bought a
not
new computer.
glitchiness. I did buy a new computer. It's not here yet.
See?
I don't know.
Oh.
This one just decided to work a little bit. I think this computer did the thing. I'm going to totally personify my computer here. It did the thing where it was mad at me. I think Saturday it shut down like 8 times. No, it was Sunday. It shut down like 8 times in the morning. I was trying to sign on. I'll get this going on the radio show in a second here. This is non-radio talk still. Because I got to get us live. I got to get the live.
I told you before that you should get that cleaned. I
The what?
reminded you. You should get your computer cleaned. I mean, your laptop cleaned.
So I bought a new one. It's on its way here. I think I will like get this one fixed just so that I can have an old shitty one to give to my kids that they can ruin. I'll get all my important stuff off of it. Not that I have anything that's that important. But I think my computer did the thing where it got sassy with me. Like it knew I was going to replace it. And so then it really started like it got mad and started really acting up. And then when I went to replace it, like I ordered a new one and it was like, oh shit, Dan's serious. And then it started working better just the last couple days. Like, oh shit, I better really like shape up. Look at this guy. This in the house.
Well, hello.
Wait,
how's the move?
It looks like you're still. That looks like the same background from the last time I saw you. Did you not move yet? Or are you
that's the last of the moving. That's why I made it blurry to make sure that it was like there was no exacts on the boxes and the things.
That's the last thing. Well, at least you saved the best for last.
Yeah, next week.
Oh.
Did you already? I assume you found a place to move into because last time you were on, I don't think you had a place yet. You were just
going down. We found one this week, so we're good.
Booyah! Where's it at? Is it where you thought it was at?
It's over in Pufftown, North Carolina, which is just outside of Winston-Salem.
Did you say Pufftown?
Pufftown, yes.
Man, if there is not a more attractive town for a pothead out there,
it's spelled Pfaff and then town, but it's pronounced Pufftown.
That's a little too many F's.
I don't know why there's all the F's. I literally didn't know it was pronounced that way until Eric told me, because I'm going to be about 4 miles away from Eric's house, the turf teacher himself.
Why wouldn't the P be silent in a word like that? What's the P for? Why wouldn't you just go Fafftown?
I don't know why, like, because it's like, or why you would have the first F after the P. Like there's no.
It's either Pafftown or Fafftown, but it shouldn't be Fafftown.
Pufftown, yeah.
They probably debated that for a week to figure it out.
I feel like I haven't looked into. Yeah, exactly. Well, I haven't looked into the background of it, but I'm assuming that it's some person's name, unfortunate name that they had.
Yeah, there's got to be a weird story for that. There's got to be a weird story. Hey, Jai, you ready to make a radio show? Should we make a radio show? All right, you ready? I'm going to do the signal thing. Here we go. Welcome to Happy Hour, brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Oh, baby. I thought maybe you'd give us a sound effect. Is that right at the end of that? That would have been cool. Justin didn't take any time to identify that you're living in Santa's Wonderland.
Yes.
Sean's in Santa's Wonderland. Hecubus is amidst the moving boxes. He's in the chaos of a move. What's up, business nerds? Welcome to Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, so happy Wednesday, and it's time for a little bit of home service happy hour right here on Turf's Up Radio. The world is so weird right now. I don't even know what order to like tackle things in, other than we'll just start spitballing and see where we go with it. We're in we've talked about it the last couple of weeks, but we're in like the middle of the summer lull. I had Jeff Ford on last night. I did my late night show last night because tonight Sean and I got a little recruiting webinar to do. So we did a little switcherooski, all sorts of good stuff to talk about. And it's just, I feel like election years are always weird. And I think this one's just going to be extra weird. Like we got a incumbent president that can hardly like walk and talk at the same time. We got an incoming president. Now, and this isn't a dig on anybody. I had said this when Trump first started running, like way back in the last time he got elected. I was like, man, this dude is the most assassinatable dude for a president that we've just ever had in forever. Just because of who he is, right? Like, he's so polarizing. He's for like, I had said back then, like, somebody's going to take a crack at this guy. There it was. Called it. I thought it was going to happen last time. I thought it would for sure happen last time. I was kind of surprised nobody took a crack at him last time. And just, it's just not, man, there's just no good way to say this other than like, there's no good way to miss that guy. Like, you're just, it's like super self-defeating to take a crack at him and miss at him. Not that I'm hoping they got him, right? Like, I don't want the dude to get assassinated. But like, if anybody's going to take that and run with it, did I freeze up? Because Sean looks frozen. Okay, you guys were just sitting really still, and it looked like you both had frozen up, and I was like, oh shit, my shit's really froze. But like, of all the people in the world who would like take that and run the most with it, like, man, if you were trying to shoot that guy and you missed, like, what a disservice you just did to whatever you were trying to accomplish, because now that's just so much more fuel to that fire. To a guy that's already like is bodacious. I don't even know if bodacious is the right word, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. Like, if anybody's going to take that and run with it, it's Trump. So man, it's just, like, I don't know if cracked me up is the right way to put it. Because there's nothing funny about like somebody trying to kill somebody else. That's pretty fucking stupid. But man, just like how much backfire that did. And just what a weird, I don't get that into politics. You guys, anybody that's listening to the show knows, like, I just don't get that much into it. It just doesn't strike a chord with me. I get annoyed by it very frequently. But I just don't really get into it. I kind of like to make fun of both sides. I'm like South Park. I just want to make fun of everybody. Especially like the farther you get from like center, what I'll call normal people, like the farther you get to either side, there's just a lot of stuff to be made fun of. And so I enjoy that. But that's about it for me. But like I had made this post basically to what I already just said here, which is like, man, and I use the word they is to represent the Democrats, right? And I still think our two-party system is really stupid, that we like, you're either this or you're that, like, couldn't possibly be anything else. But I was like, man, like, they did such a disservice to themselves by missing, because man, now it's just like, you don't stand a chance. Like, you might as well just not even run anybody. This is like, if especially if it's Biden, because he can't even like. There's a joke somewhere in there about like Biden's not running for president. He can hardly walk for president. I don't know. Figure it out. There's a good joke there somewhere. But like, now you just don't even stand a chance. And somebody got mad that I called them they. Like, are you talking about the Democrats? And I was just like, well, yeah. And they're like, well, he was a registered Republican. And I'm just like, it just doesn't matter. I don't like, maybe that was his plan all along. But like, he donated to the Biden campaign. Like, who knows who this guy was? He's like 20 years old or something. I don't think he knew what he was. He was probably bi-curious. Exactly. I don't know. He probably doesn't even know what he is. He doesn't even know what he likes yet. But man, what a weird time.
My daughter, I found out from my 17-year-old daughter, who for some reason recently has been sending me goofy political videos like that are making fun of both sides.
Yeah.
So she comes home. She's like, Dad, Trump got shot. Trump. And I go, what do you got? What do you got? She's got it on the phone, you know? And I'm like, what do you got? And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm not seeing the funny part of this. So she's like, no, I'm serious. So I turned the TV on, and sure enough, man, the dude got shot. And I'm like, holy shit. And
I thought you were trying to be funny. This is serious.
Yeah, it was crazy. So, what you said about if you really have a strategic thing to do him in, you got to do it, regardless of who it is. If somebody tried to take out Biden, he would win this. Like Reagan's approval rating, I remember being in high school when Reagan got shot. It was a big deal. His approval rating went to like 75%, 73%, something like that. That's a good way to get somebody jumped up in the polls really quick if you don't finish the job. And it's crazy.
Well, maybe that was the dude's strategy. Maybe his strategy was to miss.
Reagan had that famous speech that he was doing, it was after he had gotten shot that I believe that there was a balloon that popped, and he was standing at the podium, and he stopped for a second. He said, "Oh, you missed me," and he like kept on going. You know, it was this famous section of his quote or his speech where he was just like, they were like, "Yeah, he's unstoppable." You know, after that,
Yeah.
and so that's where
You missed
that whole thing. You know,
He was the king of one-liners, Reagan, man.
Yeah.
And when he got shot, he just looked at the doctors and goes, "I hope you're all Republicans." You know, the guy's like half dead from getting shot at 70 years old.
Yeah.
I forgot that they shot that guy.
Yeah, sure as hell did, man.
Oh yeah.
React. I'll do it.
There's so much argument that you can really surface from what happened in so many different angles on just unknowns and arguments about, you know, each side. But it's just strange that it can happen in this day and age in something that the way that it did, man. It's just crazy to me.
I saw Ray Burke in classic Ray Burke form, and I think you saw it too, Sean, made a post that was like, well, I just saw this or heard or read the dumbest thing I'm going to read all day today, which was the whatever security detail that basically said like, well, we couldn't go up on that roof because of the angle at it. It had a picture of the roof the guy was on, and it's like it's almost too shallow of an angle that you wouldn't feel safe because of how unsteep it is.
Compared to the Secret Service detail that was on a very slanted roof.
Yeah, it was just like, what are we doing here? Like, you can't possibly, and like, oh man,
this is going to become another. It's going to be a weird JFK thing. I think that's what's going to, like. There's going to be so many conspiracy theories about. Oh, there was a guy in a black ball cap over at the corner of this building. You know, like. For months and months and years from now, there's going to be people are going to be going over that footage and coming up with all kinds of different scenarios and theories of what happened.
Because they whacked the guy, right? Like they shot the dude that.
Oh yeah,
that the dude with the gun. It brings into question like what that dude's motivations were. Like, who was he? What was he really all about? Like, I don't know that it really matters that he was a registered Republican or whatever. Like, that seems vaguely irrelevant to me, what he was registered as. That doesn't mean you have to vote that way, right? That's just like a thing you said. One said, that's like, I'm an organ donor. I don't know. Like, if I'm dead, maybe it I don't know. But then he donated to the Biden campaign.
Something for the left, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't. Maybe he either accidentally donated. He either accidentally donated to the wrong campaign, accidentally registered for the wrong party, or he's really confused and he doesn't quite understand. I don't know. And now we'll never know what his real motivations were. I'm not super studied up on it, but do they think he had anybody else involved? Were there any other co-conspirators or whatever you'd call them?
To me, that's part of this thing that is conversation. And you're right. There's going to be conspiracy stuff about it, especially anytime a president's involved with anything like this, right? 9/11 still, you know, they think somebody else did the tower, you know, all that stuff, right? But how is it that in this day and age, we don't have information public right now that they know exactly what's in his computer? They're saying still that the FBI can't get into somebody's phone. This is a freaking iPhone or something. It's not freaking, this is a 20-year-old kid's iPhone, man, or whatever the hell he has. It's an Android or iPhone. These things don't add up to me for some reason. It's like they're either not telling but in this day and age, how do you keep anything a secret anymore? Even with FBI and all that, because there's so many FBI people that are like right wing a little bit in their views, and there's left wing a little bit in their views. So wait a minute, if the other side's, what do you mean we can't get? You know, somebody's going to say something sometime or another about it. And technology, I think, isn't going to wait 44 years like it did for Kennedy.
I think they know. I think they know. They're into that phone. They're just not saying because it's not something they want everybody to know, right? Like there's no way they didn't know 2 seconds after they shot that dude. There's no way. So So I got my own conspiracy theory right here. Are you ready? Are you ready for it?
Oh shit! I was wondering where you were going with this. Okay, let's go for it.
So here's my. There we go. Yes, that's a great sound effect for that one. So my conspiracy is this. It only makes sense after the last debate where like it just became really clear that whether you're a liberal or a Republican, and again, I'm just kind of not either. So I'm not trying to like say anything or pick any fights. But man, it just became really clear like Biden's not fit to run a country, whether you thought he was previously or not. It's just really hard to be like, that's our guy. Let's go, Biden. Good luck running the most powerful country in the world. That's like scary, right? And so that party either has to replace him or replace the other guy, right? Like you kind of down to two hard options, right? And Biden can't. I don't know all the ins and outs of our system. It's complicated. And it's complicated for a reason. I'm not dogging it. But I don't think they can they can't replace him or overthrow him. I think he would have to step down, right?
Oh, Kamala Harris would be the next person.
Yeah,
if he steps
right.
Down. She's the first person in line.
Okay, yeah. Well,
if they want the money, the money.
Yeah, and so it's like they're kind of like in a rock and a hard place, and if he doesn't step down, which like I don't know, the older people that I know in my life just get more and more stubborn. I think that, and like as I get older, so do I. I'm not immune to this. I get more and more stubborn and like set in my ways. So like it just becomes clear to me, like the more senile he gets, the more he's like stubborn and not gonna step down, right? Like I just go back to Grandpa Vilas. Jesus Christ, that was like my dad's favorite joke of all time about his dad, my Grandpa Vilas. Was I was 14 years old before I realized my name wasn't Jesus Christ. I was Jesus Christ. And like he was 80 years old. He'd be watching a Packer game. He'd be like, Jesus Christ, I could tackle better than that. It's just like you just get like super set in your way of like, this is how the world works.
Yeah.
And so if Biden's not going to step down, and after that last debate, like I'm sure that party's thinking that the only way if he's not going, we got to take out this other guy. Let's pin it on a 20-year-old dude that's bi-curiously confused about whether he's Republican or Democrat, so nobody can trace it back to us, and then we'll act like we can't access his phone. That's my conspiracy. That's how I would do it.
Ooh, that's a good one. A solid conspiracy.
Do you think so? I think in the world of conspiracies, it's pretty conspiracy.
There we go. We got a horn.
That's the truth. That's what Grandma Day had to say when I called her and said, "Hey, Trump got shot." Those goddamn Democrats. I'm like, whoa, wait. She didn't know if he was dead, alive, if he got shot in the finger or what, or he took a shot, or he drank a shot. She didn't know.
And I'm not saying anything on this conspiracy because I don't want to get shot. So
the Clintons are already coming after me, man. The Clintons are I just thought of an inappropriate thing, and I just don't think I'm going to say it.
Come on now. We're all friends here.
No, I don't want to get. I was going to make a joke about saying something about God and like getting struck down, and like that's pretty much comparable to like the Clintons. If you say something bad about the Clintons, you're kind of looking over your shoulder. Are you going to get struck down? Sean, you said, "Oh yeah, I called my mom," and Mary's like, "Goddamn Democrat." It would have been. Grandpa Vilas hasn't been with us for 10 years, but man, I would pay hundreds of dollars to put Grandpa Vilas and Grandma Day in a room together and just let them go. Like everybody would have been MF'd about something or other, and they would have been best friends for a minute, and then they probably would have hated each other the next minute. And there'd just been a lot of God's name in vain, even though my grandpa always claimed to be super religious, and I could never quite comprehend how that was. Like, I think he just went to church a lot to like pray for his sins about, saying Jesus Christ all the time. But man, that would have been just pure entertainment. I would have paid a lot of money to watch that movie.
No doubt, man. No
doubt. Hey, I laid out my conspiracy theory. What do you guys got? You got to have some sort of like what if theories going on. You got any theories you want to run by us? We'll poke some holes in it.
I mean, here's what I know.
This sounds like not a. Excuse me, not a theory.
You okay there, Dan? You're
I
right.
wrong piped it because I want off the wall theories. I don't want
This is going to be. This will
John,
be.
you killed him with your first statement, apparently. He said, "Here's what I know," and then
Yeah. So, oh no, what does he
No,
know?
No, we're talking
oh,
in
shoot.
pure wild ass opinions here, not in knowledge. Knowledge is lame and boring. Well, I want
So this is where. This is what I know.
Facts. Yeah.
It's strange that we have to apologize like you did about 3 times before you said what you wanted to say about anything to do with politics. That's where we are today. I don't think
totally
anybody
where we
has to apologize about shit. I think we should talk about it more. And everybody else thinks we should talk about it less. So I'm getting off on a tangent on that. Why on earth you wouldn't talk about your view on somebody, an organization taking your money or not, making laws about what you can do or not do, take your freedom away or not take your freedom away. That seems to be a pretty
We're
good
talking about.
That's what we're talking about in my book. All I know is this guy got impeached twice. They were screaming and yelling as he came down the elevator that they were going to get rid of him. Okay. That's before he was, I swear to tell the truth and uphold the. That was before that day happened. They blamed him for January 6th, which Pelosi got a phone call. Do you need police? Do you need National Guard? Nope, we're good. Huh, that's interesting. I always say, God, no, if there's anything going on, don't bring more security. That's always a good idea, right? Hell no, don't bring that.
Out of it. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then we go into the guy's been through every courtroom that has a blue state in it and a blue city that's got homeless. I don't know how he got in with all the homeless he had to jump over and all the cities that he went into to be. Now, I've got a guy that has a house worth about $10 million in the old state of Ohio here. I assure you that house in Mar-a-Lago is worth more than $18 million because they ain't even close to the same house. All right. That's what he went to court for one time. So these things, Republican or Democrat, that shit is just horrible. I never voted for Bill Clinton. I said he should not have been impeached because that's a fucking slippery slope. And look where the Republicans are impeaching somebody. I don't even remember Morocco, the border guy or the Homeland Security guy is getting impeached. They want to impeach him over that. It's like, Jesus Christ, the Boy Scouts are going to get impeached next. I mean, why? That's that. So God forbid, how can you believe they would try to assassinate him after all that? That seems crazy to me. That seems crazy to me. I can see all those other 15 things I mentioned. Sure, that's reasonable. But that's where I stop.
Wouldn't it be frustrating if you were like a career politician and you just made your life out of kind of like sleazing your way into stuff? That's just how I view politicians in general. Just
if you
being
were a
dishonest
politician
and
for like 40 years.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, this motherfucker comes in and just like bullies everybody and just comes bashing through and just doesn't give a shit about politics and like does whatever he wants. Like, man, that would be so frustrating. Like, he just doesn't give a shit.
Dude, that
would suck if you're Nancy Pelosi.
I'll end it with I will give the Democrats some advice. Somebody pretend to assassinate Biden and you guys will be right back in there, baby. You'll be right back in there.
I think that's what the point is. I think that's what this is happening. That's going to be a thing. Because I actually read 3 different articles this morning on one was, of course, all the different, MSNBC and all these others. But I read 3 different articles that all said the same thing, that the government, quote unquote, the government expects retaliatory attacks because of this. I'm like, what retaliatory attack? Where are we at a civil war? When retaliatory attack? What the hell does that mean? We're not fighting against each other. We're a country. We're supposed to be why is the media saying that expect this to happen unless it's going to happen?
Never.
Wait, I know. To sell advertisements. That's why.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's do this. Hecubus, you got to have a conspiracy theory, so we're gonna get that. We got to take a commercial break. We got to play some Turfs Up Radio sponsors here quick and show our love. We'll be right back with a little more home service happy hour right here on Turfs Up Radio. I got some other things we got to jam on with this, including what does it mean for our businesses. We should probably get to that at some point. This is just too much fun. We got to stay on this real quick. We'll be back with a little more home service happy hour. Don't go nowhere.
Landscapers, had enough of disjointed and outdated software? Upgrade to Aspire and say goodbye to estimating, scheduling, and routing frustrations. With Aspire, it's smooth sailing. Work orders? Handled. Mobile access? Done. Invoicing, payments, and real-time reporting? It's covered. Aspire's got your back. Why settle? You deserve software that works just as hard as you do. Learn more at youraspire.com. That's youraspire.com.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
True Fuel is a high-octane fuel precision-engineered for your 2- and 4-cycle equipment. They use the most advanced synthetic lubricants and stabilizers in an ethanol-free fuel, improving performance, protecting your equipment, and saving you time. That means easier startups, smoother idling, and quicker trigger response, plus extended life for all of your equipment. True Fuel is ready to use and easy to store, helping your operations be more efficient and reducing maintenance costs. We at Turfs Up use True Fuel because we know it works and we know it's the best option. Check out TrueFuel50.com to learn more. That's TrueFuel50.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, here's to all the women in the green industry. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Beep, 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 beep. It's weird without Angela here and just nobody dancing. No, I'm just like trying to keep it alive. I don't even know.
There he goes. There he goes.
But
You
when
lose, you lose your hands when you lift them up in the blur.
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Jai, help us out.
There we go. Yeah, Jai. All right, there we go.
Show.
Yeah, he's way better at it. Yeah.
Jai, are you growing a mustache? Is Jai
Jai's got it going on right there.
Jai's got a mustache going on. I like that.
Nice.
That's a good look. That's
Good
super
look.
good
man.
look.
Good look.
That's real good. That's real good. Dig it. Dig it.
Thank you.
Let's stick to this topic because we got to get Hecubus's theory. Sean, I like your take. I like your take. And I think you're right. I do apologize. Like whenever I start talking politics, I apologize. I think you're right. I think it's fair to talk about more. I think the reason I apologize is because I get stuck in as a small business owner. I'd say like if you put a gun to my head and said you have to pick one of the two parties, like which one you can pick? I'd probably pick Republican because I just care more about the financial issues than I do the social issues, and so I definitely don't align with everything. But like if you put a gun to my head, like that would be, I guess. But most of the time, I'm just stuck hanging out with my old man who's like bashing me with Republican rhetoric. And I'm like, Dad, you just listened to like Sean Hannity for 2 hours and you just regurgitated all the sound bites to me. Like, if you're really that pumped up about it, like go listen to some liberal leaning radio and test your views. See how you feel then. So my only concern and why I feel like apologetic about it is I don't want to be the dude regurgitating sound bites because that drives me nuts. Like uneducated soundbite regurgitation. I do like asking questions about it and being curious about it. I don't like when people are like, this is how it is and this is the right answer. And clearly I know what's correct. And whether you're talking religion, politics, how to run a business, I just like, I run into so many, maybe we'll get to it on the show today. I didn't get to it with Jeff when I had him on last night, but some dude was just like arguing with me on Facebook about bookkeeping stuff, about like what makes good bookkeeping. And I'm just like, man, what a weird hill to die on. Like what a weird fight to pick. Yeah. It like, I don't and then I was just challenging his views on like what makes a good bookkeeper. I got some expertise in it. Been doing some bookkeeping
here and there.
Just like I don't know, 7 years of education, 10 years in the corporate world, about 10 years in the small business world. I got some stuff that I know how to do. Not saying I know the right way. There's no right way, but it just drove me nuts that he like tried to when he couldn't argue with me about that end, then he started actually like bashing my social media. He's like, you whore yourself out on Facebook. And you know, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, man, you're just doing that thing that's so annoying where it's like I said these things, you changed them around and acted like I said this when that's not what I said. That's just really frustrating because now I can point that out, but it's just obvious that you're just like a bully. You're just like bullying, right? You're just bullying, and you're mad that I disagree. It's like he was mad that I disagreed with him, and he got mad, and then because I disagreed with him, he started like bullying and saying like, at least I don't whore myself out on Facebook, and then I don't do this, and like you don't need that, and I'm just like, what are we even talking about anymore? What a weird angle to take. And so that's why I apologize about politics, because I don't want that. Like it just always seems to turn into somebody like getting offended that you disagree with them, and you see this in politics all the time. They change what you said, they use it to argue against you, and then they change the subject to something that you weren't even talking about, and you're just like, I don't know why I even engaged in this discussion.
Real quick, the best example of that I've ever heard, I think it was Paul Newman was getting interviewed by somebody or another, and he's like, the reason I don't talk to the press is because the one time that I did, the press asked me, and they always say, people say, who the hell are all these people that say, right? When they start the sentence like that, then you run. So it was like, people say that there's rumors that you were beating your wife or you have beaten your wife. And he said, what are you talking? He was just like, what are you talking about? We've been married forever. I've never, ever have beaten my wife or come close to it. And like the headline the next day was, Newman denies beating his wife, and that's, to your point, that's how it happens. It's just crazy.
It's just frustrating. It's just so frustrating. So that's why I apologize when I'm about to talk about politics, because I'm like, somebody's going to get offended that I don't. And I make a point to say, like, I'm not on a side. I really am not. It's just not I'm an issues based dude. I don't agree with either party in most of the issues. I would vote for whoever aligns with the issues that I find most important, which frankly are like hunting and fishing and like allowing me to go do more of that. The rest of it, you guys can all have. I don't really give a shit what religion you want or what rules you want for gay marriage or what. I don't care. Just make sure I can hunt and fish. That's all I want. You guys can worry about everything else. I don't know which party represents that. Pretty much nobody. But that's what I want. So I just apologize because I'm like, I'm going to offend some of you. And one of you out there is going to be the dude that spins around what I says and gets mad and then starts making attacking arguments about nothing that we were talking about, which I just find just stupid. But it's for them. It's for them, Sean. But you're right. We should talk about it more. Super good point. Hecubus, what's your conspiracy theory?
Well, first,
you got to have one.
First
you're
and foremost,
a total conspiracy theorist.
Never apologize. Never say you're sorry. Never apologize.
I'm sorry for apologizing.
My 2 tenets in life: never apologize, never say you're sorry. Because if you do, when you do, because I say never, but I mean that in the aspect that we do it all the time. We do it just an offset, right? We say, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about that. I apologize for doing this. If you meant to say what you meant to say, there is no apology. There is no saying sorry because you meant to say it.
You're right.
You absolutely meant to say it. So don't apologize. You can't apologize for that. You can't because you meant to say it. The only time you can do it is like if you turn left and you didn't see a car and you hit them. Yeah, I apologize for that. Didn't see that happening.
I apologize with the middle finger on those ones.
Like it's people apologize too often these days. They say they're sorry, and it's just it drives me nuts because you shouldn't do it. You never say you're sorry if you did something that you meant to do.
Yeah. Actually, that's a funny point because I'm totally aligned with you on that. And that came up today with my sister-in-law, just talking about a situation. It happens all the time with my wife. She apologizes for stuff all the time. And I'm like, it's just not, you don't need to apologize. Like what happened. The apology is useless. It just does nothing. Let's worry about what we're going to do going forward. You don't need to be sorry.
Apology.
Yeah, you don't need to be sorry that I forgot to start the dishwasher. You don't need to apologize for the fact that like we didn't do the laundry last night. There's no apology needed. Let's just do the laundry tonight. Let's just keep moving. That's fine. There's no apology necessary.
Exactly.
That's a super good point. Yeah.
Save them for when it matters. when
You know
when
what?
it actually is the right point.
I've got a new conspiracy theory. I think my wife is Canadian. She's
Uh-oh.
from Minnesota. She says she's from Minnesota.
Oh, there we go. There's the
That's great. That's great. I'm pretty sure she's got to be from Canada because she apologizes for stuff that's totally out of her control. Nobody did anything wrong. It's what was intended to be done. She apologizes for it. She has to be Canadian. Or maybe it's just that we live that close to Canada. We're like almost Canadian because we're in Minnesota. That's the only other logical explanation.
yeah. There's close connection there. Yeah.
There's a coin flip. This is like coin flip type of odds. Like I give it a 50% chance she's actually Canadian.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'd go with
A
that.
good friend that's Canadian. He likes beer and he has fun.
Yeah, but if she was, why hasn't
Maybe she
why
is.
hasn't
Maybe she isn't.
Yeah, but if she
Right.
was, why hasn't she taken me fishing? Like if she was Canadian, she should know some good fishing spots. And why hasn't she taken me? Man,
Ooh.
life is confusing.
Ooh.
Oh,
Anyway,
damn,
yeah,
that's
like
a-
maybe she doesn't even. I made this comment a couple times in the last few days here, but she's traveling like 3 weeks in a row here. I think she gets back today. She's been gone this week up till now. She's got another trip next week, another trip the week after. I'm a capable dad. I can keep 3 kids alive. There's a lot more ordering food from restaurants that goes on. There's a lot more super early or super late bedtimes. Like the bedtime
super
gets
late.
really
Yeah, super late is that's yep.
Yesterday was super early because I had the podcast and I'm like, you kids are going to bed at 7:45. It's totally light out. Get your asses in bed. This is just dad's running the show. We don't follow a schedule. We follow dad's schedule. And this is what dad's schedule is. So get your asses in bed. As long as you stay there, I don't really care what you do. You can like run a marathon. You can play games. You can watch whatever you want. Just keep your ass in bed. But I was going somewhere with that. Where the hell was I going with that? Oh, back to like, does my wife even love me or not? Is the question that I'm debating. And I think it's brought into question in a really fair light here. And then Hecubus, you got to give us your conspiracy theory once I wrap this.
We'll get there eventually.
Story once I wrap up my tangent. So this fall, like this is no joke. This fall, I am gone for 3 weeks straight, like 3 straight weeks, kind of unintentionally, but also intentionally. And then I have another week plus where I'm gone later in November. So elk hunting trip for like 2.5 weeks with my buddy Ben. He drew a tag. We agreed whichever one of us draws a tag, the other one's going. Like that's the deal. You need help carrying stuff. You need help calling. One of those hunts solo is just mentally taxing. Yeah. Like especially we're both pretty extroverted, so that would be like impossible for either one of us to do. But the timing of it's in Arizona, and the timing of that season is like the last 2 weeks of September. That's it. That is the season. It's 2 weeks in September, and so like when are we going to go? Well, I guess we're going to go those 2 weeks. We also annually have a fishing trip in North Dakota. That's the last weekend of September into like early October. And so we get back on a Thursday morning and then we have a 6-hour drive up to Devil's Lake, North Dakota. So I'm gone like 3 weeks in a row already. And then I have a week plus long, like a 8-9 day trip to Illinois during the deer hunting rut to go chase big whitetails. So I'm legit gone already like 4 weeks this fall. Backtrack to why I'm not sure if my wife loves me that much or really loves me. Joe Deveneaux and Jeremy Jennings, some buddies of mine. Jeremy's out in San Diego. He said, "Hey Dan, hey Joe, you guys want to do a fishing trip down in Mexico?" To which I'm like, "Yeah, but there's no way my wife is going to go for that. Like it's in a couple weeks here. It's in August. Like I'm already gone 4 weeks this fall. Marty's going to fucking kill me." But I did have a business trip lined up that I can't go on. And so I already have the flight paid for, basically. I got the Delta credits. It's a business trip. Jeremy's a client. We've debated, not debated. We're going to start Boob LLC, Business Owner Outdoor Badasses LLC, for doing outdoor trips. So this is like a meeting of the minds in a way. Boob LLC. Yeah, you haven't heard about my new business, Boob LLC? Business Owner Outdoor Badass.
Let's dive into that.
It's a quarterly mastermind where we do outdoorsy stuff. No agenda, just hunting and fishing, and with business owners. So you're going to talk about business stuff, and there's going to be a lot of value. And it's just you just got to go surround yourself with the right people. But it's more fun to do hunting and fishing stuff. So we're gonna do a little meeting of the minds.
That's yeah.
Why would you think that? Why would you think?
You said boobs, right? Like boobs.
Well, that's the acronym.
Right.
It has nothing to do with women parts. It's just the acronym.
Right.
And we're immature dudes, so it's
an
funny.
amazing selling point.
Yeah. Chad Murray, when I had him on my radio, when I had him on the late night show a few weeks ago, he's like, I'm a boob. I'm in. I'm a boob. Skip noted. This is Skip's position. All members will be nipples. That's his,
yeah,
that's
see,
his
there we see. Thank you. Yeah, we all thought the same thing. All right.
For the nips. But so here's my stance.
Wait,
which is I ran this by Marty.
level? Like, do you have multiple?
Yeah.
Like, you have nipple level and then aerial and level.
Yeah, for more professional, for a more like.
Yeah, that's the member
Yeah, like
plus. That's
intelligent.
equivalent to member plus. Yeah.
Exactly. See,
Areola
Thank you.
level. I haven't
There
missed
you
an event. So the reason I'm like the jury's out on my wife, in addition to the apology thing, whether she's Canadian or not, her reaction to me saying like, "Hey, fishing trip came up. I kind of plan on not going, but it's these dates and it would be kind of fun. Like, I don't get out ocean fishing much. It's with two dudes that I really want to hang out with more and build relationships with. Super fun guys. So that'd be, and then Jimmy, another dude that I don't know that well, is going. And her response was like, yeah, I think we can make that work. I think I'm traveling, but then I get back. And so that would be super cool for you to do. And I'm just like, something's going on here. This is a setup, clearly a test. So either there's only three potential things going on here. One is that girl loves me a lot. I think we can throw that one out the window though. I think we all can be like, yeah, that's a long shot. And therefore the only other option is she doesn't love me that much. She's like, yeah, get out of here. We got this. You don't need to be around. Or she just feels really guilty because she's traveling 3 weeks in a row. And so she's got the guilt complex of like, man, it's not fair that I'm traveling for 3 weeks in a row. We should, and she's traveling again right before that trip. So I guess it's like damn near 4 weeks in a row. And therefore I get the nod to go do the fishing trip. So I'm going fishing. Now I'm gone like 5 weeks in the fall. But that's the next conspiracy is she Canadian or not? Does she love me or not? I don't know. Either way, she's stuck with me. So that's kind of her problem.
Rough, like a rough one or the other on that one. I mean,
it kind of is, but she's stuck with me. She married me. That was her choice.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I didn't like pressure into that. So like,
I don't think you can drop it into one bucket or the other though. That's what I'm saying. Like, you
think it's a little more
like Canadian or lesbian. Like, that's a weird back and forth on that one.
Hey, it's kind of like, are you
Republican
or Democrat?
A former couples therapist. So like I had a lot of conversations with many people over the years of different things that are going on in their relationships, and that would not be the one. That would not. It wouldn't be.
You're saying I don't know how to lay out my relationship very well. That's probably fair. That's probably a fair assessment.
You have. I mean, I know you guys. I have dined at your table. I've had your enchiladas. So I
think you're talking about my enchilados.
Yes, enchiladas.
DOE.
So I would say that like you have an amazing relationship. Above all, like that, bar none, you guys have an amazing relationship. So, but it's not the Canadian versus just being okay with it is
those are different things you're thinking.
I'm trying to put that into context, and I don't think I can.
I think I forget what the hell the thing was, but the last time you were on, you like sent me a message later, and you're like, I could email this to you, but I don't want to forget it. So you like sent me a recording of like, hey, here's some further thoughts about how to frame this up. I think
did.
This is another situation where we're going to do that again.
Yes, it did.
We got to take one more commercial break, but first, what conspiracy theory? You got a conspiracy theory on what's going on with these assassination attempts? You got to have something. You're former military.
Wait until let's go after the break.
Oh, you're doing a cliffhanger. I like good cliffhanger. All right, Jai, play us out. We'll do a little commercial break action to give love to our Turfs Up Radio sponsors, and then we'll be a little right back with a little more home service happy hour right here on Turfs Up. Don't go nowhere. I'm thirsty.
Get ready to abandon gas with Crest Commercial. With insane power and extreme longevity, the era of batteries trailing behind gas engines is over. With the Crest revolutionary 8-minute cyber system, Crest Commercial landscape tools provide the same power and performance as their gas-powered counterparts, as much as a 2-stroke engine. Plus, the Crest 60-volt CyberPack batteries charge in 8 minutes or less. Professional landscapers can finally make the switch to battery without sacrificing performance, power, or runtime. Crest, it's the only choice to replace gas. For more information or to find a dealer near you, visit Crest.com.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy-efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
Having issues with your maintenance schedule? Want better routing and ability to track your vehicles when they leave the shop? Do you want to reduce your liability exposure with your vehicles that are moving billboards on the road? GPS Fleet Consulting uses cloud-based dashcam monitoring and can easily track your vehicle maintenance using real odometer readings. GPS Fleet Consulting can also assist you with live phone support and email support with guaranteed same-day responses. Yes, same-day responses. Stop wondering where your trucks are and start managing your fleet with GPS Fleet Management Systems. For more information, visit gpsfleetconsulting.com. That's gpsfleetconsulting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
My buddy Ben, his wife Emily, when she does like vocalizations like that and she makes noises for songs, her go-to is booby. Booby, 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 booby. And she did that when we were at Country Fest the other week, and I was like, Emily, like, are you trying to get into my new Boob LLC? That was what I really want to know. Like, are you trying to make a pitch, like, get into the new business? But I did think it was funny that was like her go-to. And we didn't really establish if she realized she was saying boob or if it was just like a nervous tick that she had. But it did catch me by surprise, and it kind of cracked me up because I think boob's just a funny word. It's got comedy built into it. Anyway, Hecubus, we lost Sean Day. Sean had to go pick up his kids.
Sean, we lost Sean.
We lost Sean. He had to go pick up his kiddos, so he's out. But that doesn't stop us from hitting on the Hecubus conspiracy theory here about these assassination. I say assassination attempts like there were more than one of them, but this assassination attempt because it's fun to pontificate on and talk shit about now that it's over and he lived. To that point though, like he lived. The one dude that was like, I think an ex-military dude that happened to be behind him, some badass dad took the bullet and he passed away.
Yes, so there was one person who lost their life and a couple others who were severely wounded. So we need to make sure that we give reverence to that, because that's something no one ever wants to have happen. And a lot of people, it's interesting because a lot of people are focused on that part of it of, oh, he got shot in the ear, should have missed or shouldn't have missed and all these other things. I'm like, there's people who actually died. There was a guy who died shielding his daughter, you know?
Right.
And you know, it's okay to make fun of the situation and things. That's comedy is one of the great things that keeps the civilization going. But holy shit, like people, there was a person who died holding onto his daughter, got shot in the head.
Right.
His brains were splattered across the grandstands. I want to make sure that people understand the gravity of that. Like it wasn't just a thing where someone died. And for those of you out there who are saying that, and Dan, I don't mean to like go on a grandstand thing, but real quick,
Yeah, do it.
people saying you shouldn't have missed. What the like?
Yeah.
What? Who wishes death upon someone? Who does that? You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so going into the conspiracy theory side of me is that like I look at this and I say, okay, this is a thing where if I were going to go deep rabbit hole conspiracy, I would say that it would be, and this is not something that uh, I agree with or believe, but if I was going to go into a big conspiracy on this, I would say, okay, so you have a leader who is nearly missed, and I say nearly missed because if you're a sniper out there, you understand the concept. Like you don't nearly miss ever. So there's that. Brings us to a point of saying this is you bring that vitriol of the nation who says this guy is not a politician. To your point, Dan, when you were saying earlier, he's not a politician. He never was. He's a businessman who wants to.
He's a bully businessman. He just goes and does what he wants.
He knows his shit. He understands the concept. He gave millions of dollars, which actually was rescinded by Biden, to black colleges. But yet you have people calling him a racist. It's insane to me. And so you have this accent that happens. And I say accident because accident means you didn't follow through.
Missed.
That person on the roof didn't follow through, and we'll find out 50 years from now some other bullshit and whatever it is. You know, we will have that day of reckoning eventually. But to celebrate the idea that someone didn't get shot and should have, that's crazy to me. That's the conspiracy to me. That's the biggest conspiracy, is the fact that people are unhappy that it didn't happen. Holy shit. Where have we come as a nation where we're like, oh my God, this guy didn't get shot.
And it just makes you makes me dislike social media that much more, because it's just keyboard warriors, right? If social media didn't exist, that's not a thing you would say to the person you cross on the street. It's only a thing that gets said on social media because people love to get a reaction, and it's the stupid platform that promotes it, right? Because it stirs shit up, which gets more interaction, which helps them sell more shit to us, because that's the thing that runs ads in front of us. And so it's all that nonsense, and I've given all my pros and cons of social media. I'm not going to get into all that shit again.
Absolutely.
Two episode series of my pros and cons of social media. But like, I feel hypocritical about it, because here we are making content on social media. Like, it's got its purposes, but man, like that part of it just sucks so hard. It's the same issue I had with the dude that I was getting into, where he like started picking a fight about whether he was literally fighting with me about what makes good bookkeeping. It's just like, what are we doing here, man? Like, how many clients have you book kept for? What are we actually talking about anymore? And there's just no way that interaction would happen in person. He would have been like, "Oh, Dan, yeah, seen you around before. Good to meet you in flesh. Cool." Instead, he's just turned into the biggest piece of shit, because why not? Like, just let me be a total asshole here because I'm having a bad day and I want you to come along with. It's messed up. Just people suck on social media.
No, it is. That's my, like I said, that's my conspiracy. Social media is my conspiracy theory. It causes people to say things they would never say in person to person, like you just said. I mean, you absolutely made my point. Like, you would never say half the things you say to other people. If for those listening, temper your argument, temper your phrases, temper the things that you say to every person that you interact with. If you are saying it to them individually, face to face, that's the way you should think about it. If you're doing it online, if you're typing on your phone, pretend that you are face to face with that person. It's a whole different world.
But don't apologize for it.
No,
say what
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Never apologize. Never say you're sorry, because you did it on purpose. If you have purposeful meaning in what you did, you can't say you're sorry, because you can't take that back. You did it on purpose.
I don't know if you heard about the phrase think before you click. That's what we got here in the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh, that's
absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Jai, get on here. Where are you? You're just somewhere. Where
Yeah,
are
Jai,
you?
Jai, come into the conversation, Jai. Give us your aspect on it, please.
Well, yeah. Basically, well, social media is just for those. I agree with Dan. Keyboard warriors, as they say. And here in the Philippines, they got it promoting on the news, like think before you click, and yeah, just because you can't reach that person, or you're not face to face with that person, doesn't mean you have to be an asshole or forgive my language, but yeah, you don't have to be a jerk. Just
No swearing
because you're
here, Jai.
behind
Come on.
Yeah,
No swearing.
just because
swear
you're
on
behind the
No,
keyboard.
Jai, seriously, man, awesome, love it.
Yeah,
Absolutely love it. Thank you.
I wish they would promote that here more, because they don't. I think they just let it slide. Like, it's kind of unregulated. It's a little bit of the Wild West.
It's an assumed thing. It's like, oh, well, that's going to happen. You can be an asshole, and it's fine, and it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be.
No, it causes the biggest diversion, right? It just sends people in total opposite directions, where it's like, man, we agree about 98% of things. Generally, like, pretty much everybody wants the same stuff. We might disagree a little bit about how to get there, and there's no way. Like, if we hang out with somebody long enough, we will eventually find something we adamantly disagree about.
Yeah.
It's like, and if you dwell on that, which is what's happening when you're on social media with keyboard warriors, if that's the thing you're going to pick on, like, what the fuck is the point of everything else? But that other, like, 98, 99%, like, we've stopped being like, man, super glad to see eye to eye on that stuff. Right. I mean, like, and this is just a stupid example, but we see the same thing in sports. And it's it's a much lower cost adversary, but instead of being like, well, I cheer for this team and you cheer for that team, like, that ends in fistfights, and like, people have died in like those circumstances of disagreements of which team to cheer for, right? Yeah. When literally all we gotta do is take one step back and be like, how cool is this sport, man?
Yep.
Right? Like, why aren't we at that level? Maybe like, it's awesome that we get to watch people run into people full speed. This is so cool watching the sport. And instead, we're just like, the team that I cheer for that has a bunch of people that are earning really big paychecks and aren't really loyal to that team because they'll get traded or they'll make a bigger paycheck elsewhere, so they'll leave. And so we just cheer for like the logo on the helmet, which is really actually pretty meaningless, but mine is better than yours, and therefore we're going to get in a fight. Like, what the fuck logic is that? But that's like the logic that happens, right?
Yeah.
It's just
easily put, like saying
outrageous.
Your team sucks. Yeah. Your team sucks. Mine's better. Like
it's not the logic, Dan. It's the emotion. That's the part. There's no logic involved in that part. It's just pure emotion. Pure emotion. We got
and booze. Pure emotion and probably some booze involved.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But Jai, like, I love your input on this. Like,
thanks, man.
You need to be on the show all the time. I know you produce it. You're in the background and everything, but like, you get some great insights.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Some worldwide views. We got like extra diversity. We got thought diversity. We have racial diversity. We got all the opinions. Not all of them. We got more of the opinions covered. Good to have more of the opinions covered.
That's really nice. Thanks, guys.
If Angela's here, then we like have the other gender covered too. But that's important. We got to get the other gender covered.
You got to check all the boxes.
She was traveling today. We didn't get her today.
But seriously, Jai, like, I love like, I haven't been able to be on a lot of the shows because of having other work stuff, and now I've got some more open time coming up, and I really like you. You are amazing, man. The way
Thanks,
you're
man.
able to cover the show, but then also you're jumping in on stuff is awesome too. Like you, kicks ass, man. You,
Nice.
Yeah, what's
Nice.
I don't know
and
how
like,
Dan found you, but holy shit.
and just so everybody knows, Jai,
You're
is it 4 a.m. there? 3 a.m. there? What the heck time is it?
Yes, right now it's 5 a.m.
Yeah,
5 a.m.
exactly.
I like
Right.
jumping on the show with Dan. I like jumping on the show with you guys so that I can see much more perspective on the world and
Guys
stuff.
getting up early. Just
Do it every
grinding.
time, man. Every time. Your values and your ability to do what you're doing are not underestimated by any means. Love having you on the show.
Thank you. Yep.
Heck yeah.
Me too. I'm glad to be on it.
Keeps us in line. Keeps us in line from saying too much weird American stuff. Let's wrap this thing up. I gotta go. I got like weird business stuff to take care of. I gotta go get my kiddos from school at some point. I don't even know.
Let's do this.
My wife, because my wife isn't in town. I'm just doing the solo parenting thing. I should probably do the dishes and laundry so when she gets home, she doesn't think I totally suck. So I should probably get some of that done. I got in 4 hours. Sean's going to be right back here with me. We're going to be doing webinar part 3, all
Yes,
about filtering applicants. So part 1 and part 2, if you didn't catch those webinars, you can still watch tonight. But we'll be doing part 3. We'll send out a couple blasts here. I think, Jai, you might have already dropped the StreamYard link
Yep.
in the thing here
It's
for it.
already
So
in the comments, guys.
if you're on
Register.
Facebook, go click on the StreamYard link. You can register
Yep.
for it there. 4 hours from now, 8 o'clock Central, 9 Eastern. You guys know the other time zones. Check that out. We're going through like how to filter applicants. Webinar 1 and webinar 2 was going to help you get a shitload of applicants by posting in the right spots, knowing what to post, how to write that job ad to get as many applicants as possible. You need hundreds, by the way, like 100 shitty applicants for good employees. Like when you're digital recruiting, it's like fishing for bluegills. You're going to go through a bunch of them, and we're going to teach you how to get through a bunch of them really fast so it doesn't take a ton of time. We still got 2 more parts after this one. We'll get to that on the webinar. I'll recap it all, but we'll see you tonight for webinar part 3 on kicking ass and recruiting. See you in a few hours. Until then, you guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. See you tonight.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Jai. See you later.
Thanks.
Bam, 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 now. Booby, 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 dooby, dooby, doob. You like that? Sounds good.